2021 was a good year for the video game industry and a spectacular year for fans all over the globe. Some anticipated release dates were dropped, and the stream is swamped with great reviews on these fantastic games. But just when you think that it's all good, it gets even better. There's another batch of fantastic games coming our way in 2022. And you know we have to go through them to see which ones fit our tastes and that space on our shelves. PS5 games are spicing things up this year, and all of these upcoming releases are definitely worth the wait and worth your hype. In this video, we will be covering the most anticipated PS5 games coming out in 2022 and include all of the details we know about them so far. We have zombie action games, puzzle games, and even a game about a cat as the main protagonist. Yes, you heard that right. These games are worth your time, so listen up and take note of all these good titles. Welcome to Clash of Games. Here we talk about game releases, your favorite games, and even a few tricks to help you out with the most challenging levels. We help gamers from anywhere across the globe make their gaming experiences more enjoyable. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure to press that like button and hit subscribe for more. After all of the delays, we now have firm release dates for the upcoming year. Even though there is still a long way to go, these titles are all well worth the wait. Many games will be new releases or making comebacks, so it's important to know which ones will get the most attention from fans. Once you understand what these games are about, you might even consider purchasing them once they are released. Alternatively, you might be able to sort out your gaming priorities using this list. Whatever the reason is, you're here to learn about which games we're all excited to play in 2022. So, what PS5 games should you expect in 2022? Let's begin! Stray. Remember how we mentioned that one of the games on this list has a cat protagonist? That's correct, we're gonna start with that game. Unfortunately, the game's developer Blue 12 Studio is still working on it. Nonetheless, they've stated on Twitter that they're aiming for a release date in early 2022, but haven't confirmed a specific date yet. It was supposed to be released this past year, but they postponed because they wanted to make sure it was high quality. In this game, a cat is separated from its home and ends up in a decaying city with a forgotten civilization. The civilization it trampled into is inhabited by creatures that resemble robots with human-like motives and emotion. It befriends a drone named B12 along the journey, and the two cooperate for their escape. It's a game that has some good lore and storylines, so you know that it's worth your sweet gaming time. Dying Light 2. After a series of delays, we finally know when Dying Light 2 will be released. And the game's mix of parkour and deadly melee gameplay looks like it'll only get better with a sequel. We've also seen a lot of gameplay, and it appears that Techland is working on another hard-hitting fighting and zombies hybrid that will please fans of the original game. It'll be released in February 2022, and it's not a PS5 exclusive either, so you'll be able to play it on your Xbox Series X and PC as well. Sifu. One of the most anticipated games of 2022 is Slowclap's new game. In this third-person action game with deadly hand-to-hand combat, you take control of a teenage kung fu student on a road of revenge. The game will be played in single-player mode, with a strong emphasis on a beat-em-up approach. According to Epic Games, Sifu is reliant on the player's ability to adapt to each situation and conflict. The game's surroundings will present throwable objects, homemade weapons, and even ledges and windows. Sifu is a challenging game that will push players to their limits because it's based on the concept of no mercy. Hogwarts Legacy. When you hear the phrase Hogwarts, you know we're talking about something Harry Potter related. You are correct! Players can embark on an expedition to explore ancient magic in a world of wizardry in this game. It's an RPG game that's set to be released in 2022, but no official date has been set. The game's plotline is based on J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter series, according to Avalanche Software and Portkey Games. Nonetheless, the game's story was created by the developer rather than the author. Players will take on the role of a student at Hogwarts in the 1800s. You might be wondering if Harry Potter, who is such an important and iconic character, will appear in this game. Alas, Hogwarts Legacy will not include Harry Potter. Remember, the game takes place in the 1800s and Harry has not yet been born. However, Potter fans need not be discouraged since the game will allow them to build and design their characters. Thanks to Hogwarts Legacy, your dreams of becoming a wizard will come true. Horizon Zero Forbidden West. This one is a PS5 exclusive confirmed to be released on the 18th of February 2022. Horizon Zero Dawn was a cult phenomenon during the PS4 era, receiving praises at release and attracting an increasing number of players to its rich single-player journey over time. People have been yearning for a sequel, and it appears that Aloy will be returning to what's left of the United States this time. From what we've seen so far, it looks incredibly stunning, with new mechanical creatures and foes. It's shaping up to be a showcase for the PS5's graphics power, and we can't wait to get our hands on it. Before we continue, what do you think of the list so far? Do you know any 2022 games deserving to be on this list? Comment down those games or any of your other ideas below. Evil Dead: The Game. With a supernatural terror element, this list would be incomplete. Horror games make a name for themselves each year, and Evil Dead: The Game is no different. It does not have an official release date, although it is widely assumed to be released in 2022 on all major platforms. At the Summer Games Fest Day 1 exhibition, the official gameplay trailer for Evil Dead: The Game was shown. It has been announced that Evil Dead: The Game will be a multiplayer action game including co-op and P vs. P modes. The log cabin from the first two Evil Dead films serves as the location for Evil Dead: The Game. Because the woods have an open portal that allows demons and monsters into the realm, players will have to work together to explore the woods and collect relics from closing the breach. Players take control of 4 characters from the film and television shows, creating an interactive and immersive experience. Gran Turismo 7. The upcoming Gran Turismo looks like it will once again push the envelope in terms of graphics richness and realism, with a reworked campaign mode that should be a little easier for players to get their heads around. The extended trailer shows it in motion, and at long last, we have a release date to look forward to. The game will be released in March 2022, allowing motorheads to get their dose at that time. In terms of gameplay, the developers stated that the new game would have a conventional campaign mode and a global map style features not seen since Gran Turismo 4. Gran Turismo remains one of PlayStation's most renowned trademarks and one that might help drive a large number of PS5 purchases, even though racing games do not have the same wide appeal as they formerly had. God of War Ragnarok. God of War Ragnarok is another iconic title that will be released in 2022. Not just on PS5, but also on PS4. Since the game's introduction in September 2020, there has been very little official news or precise data about what we may expect from God of War Ragnarok. However, in their upcoming game, players may expect a fuller image of Kratos and Atreus' challenges. Ragnarok is an event in Norse mythology that leads to the end of the world. Therefore, our duo may have their jobs cut out for them. Forspoken. Coming in spring 2022 as a PS5 exclusive, Square Enix's brand new game transports an unlikely heroine to a magic realm where she discovers she has more tricks up her sleeve than she ever imagined. It appears to be a wild good time, and the aesthetic side of things look fantastic. Unfortunately, despite a handful of hefty trailers, we don't know much about the game, so perhaps we'll learn more soon. Uncharted 4. This iconic game will be at Palm's Reach by early 2022. We can't wait to play them again with full enchantments to take advantage of the PS5's potential, as Uncharted 4 was one of the unquestionable highlights of the PS4 generation, along with its sizable standalone companion, The Lost Legacy. They'll have higher resolutions and enhanced images, making this the ideal opportunity for anyone who hasn't yet experienced these treasures. We have now reached the end of this video. We hope you enjoyed learning about the most anticipated games to be released in 2022. If you have anything to say, let us know in the comments below. Also, don't forget to subscribe to get more videos on future game releases. This is Clash of Games, and we will see you in the next video.